Hi, folks. So, I have this lady friend, and I often talk to her, trying to, mention about, for example, the dangers of technology, the potential dark side of technology, from the point of view that it overstimulates us, how it takes us away from the present, how, of that nature. I'll talk to her from time to time about food, unhealthy food, saying like fast food, and the side effects of that and whatever it is. The other day I was talking to her about cosmetics. All these facial creams and skin creams and things like that, and I was saying how important it is to be well hydrated, drink a lot of water, for your skin to stay young and fresh or something or other. And the fact is that the cosmetic companies aren't telling people that real beauty, skin beauty and skin health comes from diet, comes from the inside out, not from the outside in, a lot of the time. And I was telling her about these things, and for her, she hears me, but it's almost like it's just, these are my own personal, almost sometimes neurotic issues or concerns or insights. It's like, again, when the collective isn't talking about it, then, it can't be the truth in what I'm saying. I'm just being overly neurotic or something or other, overly cautious, or like a health fanatic type of thing or something. Also sometimes just a party pooper, just sometimes somebody who's, I don't know, just upset within themselves and just not a happy person, and so therefore has to find these things in life to give them reason not to be happy, or something like that. I don't know. But it's very hard for them to believe, to think for themselves that life is not what it appears to be, that we've been fooled and we've been lied to and we've been misled, and we're living very potentially dangerous lives, and we're becoming more asleep, and we're becoming more a slave, and we're getting less in touch with our soul and our spirit, and we wasting our lives and our breath and our time and our energy and our potential, and And so these are the messages that I kind of talk to her. But from her side, she feels that as long as I don't have to think about these things or appreciate what I'm saying, what she feels is that it doesn't exist and it's still all okay. Like, you can still carry on, indulging in fast foods and technology and televisions and, cosmetics and, the whole thing, alcohol, different kind of substances, whatever it is, not thinking for yourself, just going with whatever trend is happening, whatever it is, not living. And she says she feels like as long as I don't have to actually think about that, it's not true. Okay, so again, it's also the fact that no one else is talking about it, it's only Aaron that's talking about it. It would seem that it's highly unlikely that anything that he says is actually factual, there's any authenticity or truth or reality in it. Okay? So that I can keep calm about, right? But even though, like, when I really bring reality, like facts in, to the picture, I think she really feels that if she doesn't have to think about it, again, that it's not a reality and she's okay. And what I'm saying is that this idea that everything is okay is very, very bad and very dangerous. There's a lot of these slogans, everything is okay, type of thing. I remember I used to actually have these stickers. Someone gave me these stickers, and I used to just put them, like, on traffic lights, small little stickers that said everything is okay, on dumpsters, on dustbins or something like that, or on intercoms, and everything is okay. I really liked that. I thought it was a positive message. And the problem is that with this idea everything is okay, is that it leads to apathy, and it leads to, overly surrendering, and it leads to massive, it leads to irresponsibility, this type of thinking, that it's all okay. At the end, it's all okay, doesn't matter, So it doesn't allow for any heroic, or any type of heroism to come to the forefront. In that kind of idea that everything is okay, don't worry about a thing, everything is going to be all right, or don't worry, be happy type of thing. Like, that we've seen as worrying as being something negative. We see, being unhappy as being something that's not good. You should always be happy. Anxious is something that's very bad. Anxiety is very bad, right? But these things they're not inherently bad in themselves. They're actually very good tools. When you don't feel that things are okay, right, then the panic comes in. But we see panic as bad, and we see fear as bad as well. But I'm saying that fear and panic and anxiety have its rightful place. What I'm saying is that what my lady friend would need in her life is a grave sense of concern that things are not okay, that her life is not okay. She needs anxiety in her life. Sounds terrible, this, but in order to make her feel uncomfortable with the way things are, and actually question, what am I feeling? Let me try and get down to the bottom of why I'm feeling anxious, right? Again, depression is actually a very good thing when somebody is living a very inauthentic life, denying their spirit and soul. I'm saying it has its place. It all has its place. Being overly anxious, I know for myself, anxiety can, really can run you amok, can, really set you back in a big, big way. So I'm not talking about that in that extreme, but even psychedelics can set you back in a very non-good way if you're abusing it or something like that. So, in moderation. But that depression from somebody who's living a picket lifestyle, which is not anything of their own, has got all the yachts and the jets and the jet skis and the husband or the wife and the kids, and all set in stone, the good job, but is unhappy, that's a sign that they're not essentially being fulfilled, that there's something missing, right? And so it can lead them, there's a sense of discomfort there. And that can maybe wake them up and say, hold on a minute, what is making me uncomfortable? What is this existential angst that I have? And how can I manage it? How can I not even overcome it? How can I make it go away? You see, and again, in our culture and society, we make it go away by substances and by devices to distract us, to numb us. Of the times, alcohol in its wrongful usages, it's antidepressants, or it's not, well, whatever that is, and so we numb it even further. So we suppress it, and we suppress it even more so. And so the thing is that for a lot of people, they really need to be feeling that things are not okay. That gives them an opportunity to say, how can I make things okay? Right? How can I feel confident that even though a lot of the time, that I'm somebody that has been trying hard enough. That's what I'm saying. Somebody that's been trying hard enough. And therefore, if things aren't okay, at least I put my best effort. Okay, now I'm jumping the gun a hell of a lot here. It's not so straightforward in what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm missing a kind of a talk here. I'm watching a woman, she's feeding the pigeons. She's in front of me here. It's actually very nice to see, but she bargained more than she... what is she? She's got a small piece of bread, and there are just hundreds and hundreds of pigeons just flying in all around her. Anyways, so they all got a little taste there. So I'm getting distracted. But she's happy. She fed the pigeons, and I can see she did something good and nice. And that's what I'm saying, folks, is that like often of the time there are things in my life that just don't seem okay. And this is a whole nother discussion. I want to do a talk, which I don't know if I'll have the courage to do, about how often I feel defeated. A lot of the time, most of the time, I actually feel defeated. Okay, for different reasons, which I'll get into another talk. But what I'm saying in my own self is that I have an anxiety, I have an uncertainty of the unknown, what's going on in the world, what's my place in it, who am I at the end of it all, what am I doing here, my purpose, etc. I mean, there's all these questions, there's all this self-doubt, which is not necessarily bad, but it can leave one, again, feeling sort of hopeless in a way, directionless in a way, not have ambition for life anymore, and so for myself, what I'm saying is that to get to the place that you don't feel things okay, but you're doing your best. So again, I'm jumping the gun here. For my lady friend, she has to start off and saying, okay, things are not okay. Okay, my diet is not okay. I mean, she knows that. Her cell phone usage and internet usage, cell phone and television usage is off the charts. That's not okay. She knows that. So let's say she starts getting certain things in order and she can feel, okay, this is okay, right? I'm saying on more of the practical level, she can get into the, okay, this is okay, I've got this done. I'm fixing up my diet. I feel good about that. I'm minimizing my time with TV and cell phone usages. I'm not doing 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day. I'm only doing 3 hours a day. Okay, I'm doing more exercise or something like that. I may be reading more than I'm watching or something or other. I'm having better friends in my life than I did before. And slowly and surely she will have those moments of feeling like things are okay, right? But then it will start leading into the existential things. Again, like that's my point that I'm saying. Am I doing the right thing with my life, right? Who am I at the end of the day? What's my relationship to God and the universe and all that which is done? What's my relationship to karma? What happens when we die, right? What about if the whole world is going extinct, right? Why do good things happen to bad people, right? And good things and bad things happen to good people or something like that. Why is this duality, Why am I different to others? You start seeing yourself separate from the crowd, right? Separate from, the collective in a way. Then you're starting to find your freedom, and then our own freedom is one of the most fearful things. And it's designed this way. The fear protects us from, because you've got to be heroic to find your own freedom. And then when you have your own freedom, again, it's a lot of the self-doubt. And so what I'm saying is that I'm trying to say to myself, or convince myself sometimes, that you're going to feel things that are sometimes not okay. Like there's certain things that I wrestle with God, if you want to call it, on certain things in my life. I really wrestle, and I don't really get many answers. I don't really get much understanding of why certain things in my life are the way that they are. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it's been such an ongoing challenge. I have ideas that I can rest into some degree and say, well, they've definitely made me stronger. The challenges, my unique circumstances has allowed me to be more self-independent, self-invested or something like that, and whatever it is. It's given me the opportunity. I've seen strength. I've found strength through it all, and it has been a blessing in disguise, and I see that, and I'm grateful for that at certain times. See, because not every day can we feel grateful, folks. Sometimes we're going to feel grateful, sometimes we aren't. Anyway, so for myself, today I don't feel things are okay in my life. I don't feel that they're okay in my life. I have those days where I feel things are okay, and some days more days than often that things are not okay. What would it take in my life for things to be okay? I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is that at least I know, if I ask myself, Aaron, are you really trying your best through it all? I would say yes, I am. I have to give myself that, folks. I have to give myself that at least that I'm doing the best that I can. And that's what counts at the end of the day. More than anything, And not saying that things won't be okay, but if they're not okay, at least I'll make the most of it, So I've spoken on different areas, different dimensions here, different facets of this idea. And I just think about my lady friend and how she's got to realize that her life is rather superficial and it's not okay. And I say it's not okay because I care about her, I say it's not okay, and I can't wake her up and she must do it on her own, and I don't want to bring in an unnatural anxiety or stress upon her to change for me or to wake up for me, but for herself, because she's a good quality person with so much potential, and she could be living so much more of a fulfilling life. And you can say, well, Aaron, who are you to say that? And I say, well, I'm AronGoch. I am that I am, and who I'm becoming and who, and things like that. I don't have time for something like that. I see someone with great potential that hasn't been actualized, that hasn't been initiated, the unborn. And the one thing in her life that will bring her into awakening and consciousness is that feeling of things are not okay. And that's what happens in our own lives. Guy nearly drove over a pigeon. He saw the pigeons there and he didn't slow down. But that's what happens. I'm getting distracted. That's what happens, that conspiracy theory is actually not a bad thing, because conspiracy theory can wake you the hell up, can frighten you in a way, like psychedelics. It can frighten you, right? And it can jar you, and it can change you in a way. And sometimes that's what we really need, folks, is a scare, right? That really wakes us up, which is not pleasant, but it is what it is. So, I'm just saying, for people, I don't know, I wouldn't really want the responsibility of my lady friend waking up, because it's so intense. I'm contradicting myself, but I just don't have what it takes sometimes to help people go through the awakening process. It's just, I'm working on myself, and there's just so much going on already. And like I said, so many times, I just barely have enough strength for myself. And to seriously be there for somebody else through the whole awakening process is not easy, folks. I can't imagine it to be easy. So I don't know. I'm a walking contradiction. What can I say? But for the world, for people of the world, what I'm saying, the message would be, I'm not saying for them, but from this instant, is that the feeling of something not being okay and something needs to be done is actually very positive. All right, folks. We'll chat soon. Take care.